Ladies and gentlemen, welcome after a 2-week wait to Season 2, Episode 2, or also the Episode 9 of the RFL Unnamed To Be Done podcast series. Here is your host, Gaz, Quick Draw Gaz, what the hell is Chuck? And I'm here with my co-host, Tiger Jericho, and 3 other guests who I will be introducing very shortly. But before I do, I want to a quick message from our sponsors. For Nutritia 40 Compact comes in all flavors: vanilla, strawberry, grape, and one other flavor I forgot. It's very good for you. Good number of calories. It's very small and very cheap. I'm gonna drink one right now. I'm gonna. You know what? I gotta go have another one because this is some good shit. Hold on. This is a strawberry flavor.
It also looks like baby food, but don't let that deceive you. It's really good. I've had it myself.
Oh, Nutritia, thank you for being so good at giving me energy to go with my day. Thank you, Nutritia. I'm gonna throw up. Alright, let me take that shit out. Alright. Now, let's continue on with the show. Now, first of all, we have once again the returning member to the podcast. It is Luke Cavey from the Bertho Badiacs. Luke Cavey, glad to have you here, boy. Luke.
Thanks. Wow. What's up?
So, 4th time on the podcast, huh? The people must really like you.
I guess so.
Alright.
Definitely not the case.
Alright. How's your gold accumulation going on RuneScape?
It's not going well. I'm mining right now.
How much is actually your bank worth right now? Like your total thing?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Give me one sec.
Or I'm like not that curious about it. Don't worry. All right.
300 mil. 300 mil.
All right, moving on. Now, he was on here once or twice before. He likes rock music. He loves watching Minecraft videos. He probably was one of the squeaky kids you'd always hear play Minecraft 10 years ago. He was definitely playing on Xbox Live, Call of Duty, FIFA. It is CJA, the MVP of the UB Season 1! Can we give it up for him? CJA, how are you doing, Connor James H?
H as H,
H
boy.
Connor, it's been a while since you've been on the show. Why? What happened?
I don't know. I've been busy, fucking playing RuneScape and shit. But I'm back. I'm back now.
Well, I hope life has been treating you well.
Thank you.
All right. Now, next up, we have this guy who was on the very first episode of the show, and a few other episodes, even the famous episode where Till and Burn had that one moment. He is from Liverpool. He can be nice and calm at times, but sometimes he can be spicy when he needs to be. For example, sometimes he might feel like Indian chili food, but sometimes he just wants some nice pizza. He just wants a nice pizza. It is none other than Dench. Boy! Dench, how are you?
Hello, very good.
Very good. Alright, Dench. How is you and everything, just everything in general going? Your life, everything. How you feeling, huh?
Very good.
Very good?
Very good.
Alright, buddy, that's good to hear. Now, next up, well, I mean, like, this guy has been pissing me off a lot lately. And I'm just playing this intro music right now. I'm just gonna let it play for a second.
The whole world's waiting. How will you devalue my
The
name?
Eye of the Tiger. Official music video by Fear My 3-inch. The man who oftenly gets called out by every single person, but this man doesn't let anyone rip into him because he fights back. He fights like a man. He fights like a gorilla because he doesn't take any shit. Unfortunately, that is not the man he is. It is Tiger Isaac 904. How are you, Tiger?
I don't know why you think I don't fight back.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Mate, I don't think you are, mate. Are we
No,
all
I'm joking. Come on.
You've had too much of the Nutritia Compact.
Hey, I had two of them,
Going
that's
to your
true.
brain.
Shout out to my sponsors, Nutritia Fortistive Compact, Vanilla
Uh,
Flavor Sabor Compact.
You're not supposed to chug those. You know that, right?
Is that why I'm getting the shits right now?
Could be.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue with the podcast. All right. On to the podcast. So, let's talk about the very first game of the season, which is commentated by A-Raj and Doc. Well, it is the birth of Badiacs, correct? Against the Kebab Greens, also known as TGV, which we have two representatives from each team here. Luke from BB and BB and CJ. What's that funny? Luke from Bertha Badiacs and CGH from TGV or Kebab
It's your boy.
First of all, I want to start this off by saying, first game of the season, first time playing for your teams. How did it feel for both of you? Luke first.
It felt fine until Bediak threw an interception.
Okay, all right, okay, like, you know,
It does happen. P.
Luke.
Want to get that out of the way real quick.
Yeah. Well, you're not getting it out of the way because we're gonna talk about that right now.
Right.
If you were trying to get it out the way, you literally shot it right at us. It would be
Good. I want to start with this. So we can talk about more important things.
So, Luke, here's the thing, right? Imagine you were like the shareholder of the team. You own 100% of the shares of the team, right?
Uh-huh.
Right? And you see your coach or manager, whatever, right? He drafts a team with no QBs, but they have Tilt. But then Tilt has a little bit of a fit, and the coach trades him for Barone, and the coach makes himself the QB. Now, if you were the shareholder of the team, what would you think?
Assets immediately.
What would you say?
I said
He sells assets immediately.
Okay, and why? Why so? Like, tell us through this, because you're good with
The
money,
coach-
right?
because the coach and a fucking got a safety with.
Oh, you keep cutting out, Luke. Say it again.
You got an interception and two interceptions and a safety in a span.
In the span of 3 games. That's what he said.
Okay, but let's not look too far, and let's just forget about last season, just for his. I'll
really-
try to put a case for Baddick, right? Let's forget about last season. This season, him as QB for the first game, was it a good choice? Yes or no?
Yes,
He-
I think he played fine.
Yeah, I can confirm playing on the other team. He did great at quarterback. Besides that last drive, I think he had like 11 touchdowns that game. Is that right, Luke? 11.
Yes, I'll make the argument to why he shouldn't have been quarterback right now.
Okay, go on.
First of all, the defensive scheme in this game and defense is pretty bad. If you look at it, at least in the first half from both teams, the only reason he had 11 touchdowns to begin with is because the other team was spaghettiing so hard.
That is true. I can.
And he was throwing passing touchdowns every single time. I don't think he ran one time this game.
I mean,
you go back and look at the game.
He did.
So not that I'm saying that maybe he should have like expand his horizons on offense. You know, it just was working out that the other team's defense was terrible,
but hold on. There's a couple things. One, it continued to work into the second half until he threw the pick. Number 2, Barone was the only other person that could play quarterback, and he was having a terrible game. So there was no other options for anybody else to play at quarterback that game.
He did pick on.
I mean, look, what about yourself? Because you have definitely
he
played
played
quarterback in scrimmages.
Quarterback? I mean, I tried it a couple times with a mouse, and I thought I did all right. Then my mouse broke.
So did you think you deserved to have a chance?
We can talk more about that as we get into week 3 stuff. But for that game specifically, no, there was no sense in letting me QB that game.
What about the second
But
game?
if you-
Well, okay, right.
If you look into it
for the
though,
same reasons.
with all the things that were happening even before the season started, you know, the safety and the interception and whatever, it cost them 2 games. So you go into this season and you. I guess since it's his team, he wanted the quarterback. I don't know. I'm assuming he drafted Tilt to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
So
No,
trading for
no,
Barone, no,
no.
really.
He drafted Tilt solely because Tilt was the highest person on his draft list that was available, and he didn't even expect to be able to draft Tilt. He was not. That was not who he thought he was going to be getting.
Who did he plan to get then?
I couldn't tell. I
What do
just
you
know
mean you
that
couldn't
Tilt
tell me? It
was
doesn't
not the
matter
person.
anymore, does it?
Well, no, I couldn't tell you because I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, okay. So he just told you that he was not the number one then.
Yeah, I just know Tilt was not the person he expected to get at that point in the draft.
My guess would be CGH. Dvatic
Yeah,
definitely
I
was
was gonna
eyeing
say, I
CGH.
think I
No,
remember
I think
him.
CH was he expected him to be gone at this point. I think maybe Leo.
I think
was-
either. No, I think he said either me or Leo.
Yeah,
One of the
that's-
two.
Can confirm, by the way, yeah, who it was.
One of the two.
Mm.
I
Me
just
or
know I
Leo.
was like 2 or 3 on his draft board or
Dude,
something.
I have Bad X draft board right here if you want to know who it was.
Yeah, go ahead. What was his?
Well,
what
he
was
thought
his
he was
top
getting
five?
me. Because I was first.
No, he didn't think he was
Yeah.
getting you. That was just he would have drafted you
Yeah,
ahead of
I
you.
was first on his draft board. It went. I'll have to find it. I know I was first anyway. He didn't think he was going to get
I actually
Tilt,
have
though,
it on
definitely.
Discord real quick if you want. I have it PM'd to me.
Yeah,
That's interesting that he tried to draft you.
yeah. That's who he was planning for anyway.
Interesting.
I'm sure he doesn't care anymore if I
No, it's
read
what
it
it
up
is.
here.
Yeah, I mean, the
It's
draft's
all
over.
right. Let's just talk about this game. Let's not talk about the draft.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
okay,
this game
he was
was-
planning
It
on
was a-
QBing anyway. Definitely, he
Yeah.
was planning on QBing, even if he got me. So
Right.
That wasn't a good draft pick if he drafted Tilt, because I know Tilt wants to play for a more established quarterback than Badiak. It's just how it is. Tilt likes to win. He doesn't like to lose, and we saw that last season. So
That's true. That is true.
Sure.
I
mean,
here's one question I'm gonna ask you. Okay, Luke.
Mhm.
Just a little bit of foresight. Like, okay, Badic did not perform well in the first game. I mean, not perform well, but like he did not. Because the interception that
I mean,
definitely
he did
tainted his
do-
performance.
I would disagree. I thought he played good.
Listen,
besides
that's
the
not what I
last
said.
drive.
That's not what I said.
I-
That's not what I said. What I said is because of the interception, it tainted his QB performance. That's agreeable, right?
I mean,
It tainted his performance as a QB.
ultimately, It ultimately lost us the game. If he had thrown, well, I don't know.
It was close at
could
that
have
point,
run the
wasn't it?
clock.
It was very
If he had-
close.
Well, if he had run the clock down and we were turned over,
Yeah.
we probably could have won the game. If we,
yes, here's
or
the
if we had
yeah.
scored. 'Cause
That's
they
the
scored
problem.
in the last like 5 seconds of the game or something.
That's the problem when you just throw the entire time is you get that 15 seconds to throw as opposed to running it and wasting maybe like 20, 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Okay, here's
There was only like a minute or so left in the game. All you've really got to do is like run the ball, and if you're confident if someone's really open, just throw the ball. But for the most part, you run it, and that's I think a lot of quarterbacks would have done there. But he threw the ball, and I mean that was his thing during the.
Okay. The last thing I'm gonna mention before the the last thing I'm gonna mention about this interception is that, so from the point of view is that like as a team player, Luke looking up to Baddick as a coach, right? If your
Mhm.
coach threw an interception and that obviously tainted his performance, like it definitely like put his ratings down, right? Seeing him then not quarterback in the second game, that must change your opinion of him as a coach and even a quarterback, no? Like,
No.
does that
Well,
not does that not show like he does not have confidence in himself to not QB again?
I mean, Badiak wasn't even at the game, so he couldn't.
Oh,
be there.
okay, I didn't know that actually. Okay,
I
take
don't.
that back.
I still suspect Barone would have started. I think that's more on Barone's end than on Badiak's. Just because I think Barone overall, I actually think Barone is more confident, which is not really surprising, in himself than Badiak is at this point. Badiak's had a lot of missteps in the last couple weeks, which is unfortunate.
Hate to see it.
It's kind of more of a. I mean, like Badiak is, he throws fine. It's just been these last couple things, and it's more of a recency bias than anything else. But I don't think he's particularly like a bad quarterback. I just feel like he's kind. I mean, I don't want to say he's a one-trick pony, but like he just throws. He doesn't really have any ability to
Okay. Well, that's
Um,
enough of Badiak. All right, that's enough of Badiak. I
Well, I
want to
mean, do you
talk.
want to talk about the game?
Yeah,
Audio.
well, now I want to talk about is Kebab Green, CGH.
Hey, that's my team.
All right, so last season when Byrne played for Varrock Rams, he was initially quarterback, but then I guess he got switched up for Sharnas as
Sharnas took
quarterback,
over.
and Sharnas, he did perform much better as quarterback last season in Varrock Rams. Now Burninator is back to his natural position as a quarterback, and
Yeah.
from what I've heard, he's had a pretty good game.
Yeah, he had 5 rushing touchdowns. He doesn't run
He's
the ball, from what I heard. He played. He did great. He passing and running. I thought the entire. I don't think we got a turnover that game.
Well, CGH, you are definitely one of the hottest wide receiver in the league. Playing with a quarterback like Bud, who's a passing one, how did you feel like? Yeah, what did you think about that?
I think we complement each other quite nicely. Because he's known for his passing, and I don't know, like people like how I run routes, like the deep posts and whatnot. So I think we work together as a strong
Well,
duo.
Now that we've talked a lot about the quarterback, we haven't really talked about defense, but like I mentioned, like Tiger said, I do agree. When I was at the game, it looked like Swiss cheese. It was
Oh, yeah.
barely going to second down. It was like fucking throwing TDs on the first downs like over and over again. It was like horrible. What was wrong with both teams' defense in this game? Was it like the offense was too good, or the defense was just like underperforming?
I think it was the first week of the season. Like we're just starting to like figure out what we need to do as a team, like how to get better. And we didn't really have that much practice. It was mainly our wall defense, like on XPs and like on 3rd and 4th down. Like we were just giving up like plays left and right. But so it was yeah, pretty much that, like not getting together as a team. But we're feeling confident now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just need to practice on wall defense, and I think we'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to Byrne for that clutch last drive he had and calling timeouts and getting everybody to the line. I don't know if that was him specifically, but everybody on that team getting to the line and getting the playoff before the clock ended. That was pretty good awareness by them.
I have to say, Byrne is definitely a very good leader, like a very good leader on the field.
Yeah.
All right.
I've never played with him. I don't know.
Well, I can definitely say that. I play with him on many teams, and he's definitely a very good leader on the field. He definitely is. All right, let's move on to the next game. Tiger, what is the second game of the season?
Second game of the season
Was that Varrock Rams or
the Brewers versus
right?
Yeah.
All right, so it was the Varrock Rams. That was my team against the Harmony YMCA, which is Tiger's team. Now this is gonna be a little bit of a conflict because we're both hosts of the show, but we'll try. Okay, I mean, from the way I saw it, Brewers won by 18 points, which is a big fucking margin. 18 points is a big margin, but it was a pretty close game in the first half. It was
the first half. I have to say, Dark was brought to 4th down on the brink of 4th down like
so many
3 times, and you guys, the Rams couldn't clutch it. But at the same time, I think your confidence was kind of growing because you knew that eventually a turnover would happen, or so you thought, and it just didn't happen that way. But it was pretty close in the first half.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing to definitely mention is that you're right. The confidence was definitely growing after getting so many 4th downs. Even if he kept fucking spaghettiing in the 4th one, we were like, all right, we can keep trying this. We'll definitely get one soon enough. But then it got to a point in the first, if you remember, Giggs DC'd because of some stupid reason for like the second half of first half, and that threw us off really badly because I forgot who. I think like our rookie came on. Yeah, our rookie came on, and we had to adjust really hard because our rookie had that was literally his first game, and we didn't really expect him to actually play that for that long, but he got a lot of experience, and that threw us off a lot.
Yeah,
and that kind of shifted the momentum backwards towards you guys when you took advantage of
Young
that.
Clay Cities.
Clay Cities, yeah. I like to also add that you guys, to me, are an emotional team. If you're winning, you're on a really good high, but if you're losing in a game, it'd be hard for you to get back and get your confidence back. Because I know once we turned you over, it just seemed like it was harder for you to crawl back into the game.
Yeah. It's definitely to do with like you said, it's definitely to do with a morale issue for sure. Our highs are very high, but our downs, it's pretty high. It's pretty hard for us to go back to a high from a down.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, decent game.
Yeah,
It's just the turnover that we started building up, and you guys started collapsing.
Well,
and
one little comment, like Clay Cities, the rookie of our team, said was like he said that our team had no chemistry. Well, not sorry, no, that's not right. He said that our team did not have so much chemistry.
Well, that's weird considering you have Sharnos and Liam who've played forever, and then you and Sharnos.
Sure, but you could also say that for last season's Varkrams with Burn, Sharnos, and Darth. But you know.
The problem isn't the team chemistry then. I don't know what would the problem be. I would think.
Well, I'm saying.
I'd almost think that you. I think I know what the problem was. This will be my last point before I let anybody else talk. Is the routes you guys were running? You guys were kind of running straight and then taking like a slant. You guys were doing a lot of slants. That's the problem I saw. I don't know if anybody else can confirm this. Like deep posts, but they weren't deep posts. Like they were
just posts.
Somebody would be lined up in a slot and it'd still be a post. Yeah. So that's just what I saw in the game.
Very, very interesting.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know what a deep post or a post is. I honestly have no idea. Like,
okay, so a post.
No, don't bother explaining. Don't bother explaining right now on the fucking podcast. But
I'm just gonna. It's easy to explain. You just run straight. That's a post. And if you run a deep post, it's a run straight slant. Deep. Right. That's what you guys were running. That's how I think you guys lost the game. Because we kind of picked up on that.
I also got to say, Tell got a lot of tackles that game, didn't he? He got like double digits from our game. Yeah, and
was
then
it that game or the most recent?
That was Crandor.
Well, he also got double digits for our game as well, no? Or like somewhere near.
I think he had a respectable amount, but I don't think it was double
digits.
He
had a lot of incompletions. He had 4 incompletions, 6 tackles. So
like and a little bit of foreshadow in the second game. He got like double digits against Crown and Cyclones.
13.
Which is
13.
Like this is some fucking insane statistics.
13 tackles but 16 stops.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it right now. Tell is definitely leading the MVP race right now, as not a quarterback, which is nice to see actually.
Yeah,
I would agree with you.
I would agree.
All right.
I don't think it's close.
Luke, didn't you have anything to say about this?
I agree. For the most
It's only been 2 weeks in, but yeah.
The 2 weeks. That's why I didn't say anything.
Just about the game in general.
Did I ref this game?
He's already put up.
Yeah, you did actually. You, Bert, and.
Well, I wasn't making calls. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you, Bert, and Sirs, I think. No,
dude,
Sirs,
I thought first half, man, the Rams looked fucking hot. And then I don't know what happened, man. They were stopping everything. I thought the Rams were gonna win by like a blowout at the beginning, because I think they were kind of flustered at the start, but he did really well to like pull it back. But this was a good game, and 18 points was too big a scoreline, I think, to lose by. Like that doesn't do justice to how close the game was, in my opinion. But I enjoyed it, and it was probably the 2 best teams going at it, so that was fun. But yeah, I mean, there was a few ref mistakes, but like that happens every game. But this was a good game, and this is like potential UB game right here already, so just like a taste of what's to come. But it was fun to watch.
All right. Anything else you guys want to mention about this game?
Not really.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
The next one I want to mention is, this is the first. Now, this is definitely like a fucking meme game. I swear to God. Sounds like a scrimmage. I did not go shout to this game. The Crandor Cyclones versus Porcars Warlords. Now, some things to mention here first before I let you guys take over the discussion is, one, surprisingly, Cyclones did not implode. That means Chevy did not implode. Second bullet point, Caleb... Huh?
I said you're a little behind on the...
Who's eating, man? I can't hear him.
Tiger, if you stop eating the fucking Fritos, A-Rog wouldn't be bullying you so much.
I can't hear anything.
Jesus Christ.
Why don't you tell?
It's actually trail mix, and it's also the game has been rescheduled. You monkey.
Yeah, thanks,
so
Tiger,
if you pay attention.
Wasn't it Crandor and Harmony and not Crandor and Portray?
Oh yeah. My bad. Sorry. Yeah.
You confused me for a second there. I'm like,
sorry. My bad. The game is. Sorry.
We'll talk about the first game first.
But there was a game before that, which I think
is
going first. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tiger. You take this game.
The third game, the first game of the second week, it was Port Khazard Warlords against the Birthrow Badiacs. So it's the first game for Port K this season. Looking at it,
It was a good game.
it was a pretty close game. I thought it was going to be a lot less close than what it actually was, just because of the previous week and how it was played out. But it was a lot closer. Dench, I'll let you explain how you guys won this game and how close it was.
Well, the first thing I want to point out, this was like the first time we'd ever been together as a team. Like, we didn't practice once, and they had like a week of preparation over us. You know, they played a game, obviously, week 1. So they had a little chemistry, if any. But I think, without wanting to sound like a cunt, I don't think this was as close as the scoreline is going to make it look. Like, we should have turned them, honestly, at least once in the first half, and then potentially another in the second half. We turned them first drive, and it was overturned, but it's whatever. But and I DC'd also for fucking the drive we got turned over in the first half, so I'm kind of pissed about that. But I think for the first run out, we did good. First half, like, we looked really good defending. We have like a few problems that we need to iron out. Like, our run D was pretty bad, but like on a whole, we were fine. Boone fucking went off. Honestly, Boone was so good.
Yeah, that's what I feel like with Boone sometimes. Like, Boone is such a hit or miss player. It's
Boone's
either
good,
like last season he was a fucking miss. This game it sounds like he was a hit.
He was good. Like, Caleb did pretty well. He made one bad mistake at the end, but it's whatever. He's new to QBing. And then I just kind of felt like Brown didn't really go to me throw at me that much. But I think we did fine. I think we have a few problems, but like as I say, it was our first game together. If we practice some, we'll be fine. I think.
Well, I want to also mention to you about Dench. One of the talking points of last episode was Caleb as QB, which he was a QB. How did you think he performed? And after that, Luke, I'd like to know your opinion on Caleb as QB.
Sure. Like, I don't want to go into this game that much because we were literally throwing at Joey every play. We were scoring the first time. But I don't think it's that good an indicator. But like, he did well. He played like. You can only play who's in front of you. He did fine for who we were playing against. He made a couple of bonehead decisions, but he won't do it again. So we're fine.
Yeah.
He did good.
We can talk about that if you want. As far as our defense, I thought all things considered we played fine. I don't know how much I agree with some of the things that you had said, because I felt like there were times where we probably should have turned you as well. I also think the fact that the game's ending was kind of BS, but whatever. It is what it is.
What happened?
What happened? So basically, the last play of the game the second to last play of the game was a pass from Barone to me, where I scored, but they called it D. We asked for a booth, but Barone kind of panicked because we were running out of time and called hike, and he got tackled. But I asked Sirs to go back and just review it just for my own information, and it turned out that I had scored and that Boone had missed.
Would that have turned the game around completely?
It would have given us a chance to tie it, yeah. But it doesn't matter at this point. I think the game was all right. I think Joey had a really, really, really rough game trying to play CB for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys allowed that to happen.
Yeah, it took us a long time to move.
But it sounds like you had no choice, though. Like, you didn't have a fifth player, did you?
We had fifth player. No, Badiak was gone.
Yeah, Badiak was gone.
I'm feeling a little bit more confident coming into next week, and we'll talk about it because we'll have Badiak back for that. I'll have a mouse. And
Luke, I feel potentially this season because, like, okay, it sounds like your team isn't that star-studded, which means, like, this, I think, Luke, you have the most potential as a player on this team, and you also have, you should definitely have a big voice in this team, maybe even the biggest voice. This could be your team, Luke. This could be your team in the future.
It would. You
shouldn't shy away from it, like a leadership position.
I'm not shying away from it. It's more that I'm not home. I'm not on my desktop. I'm on a laptop on a trackpad, and it's really hard for me to do anything outside of my comfort zone right now, which I want to do. You know, I want to try QBing and all sorts of other things, but and I mean, hopefully I'll be able to get to it. I'm looking into talking to Leo about getting a desktop out here, so. We'll see.
You have a look at the Leo's good old warehouse.
Leo's budget PC.
Leo's scuffed Ajit Gupta, Sanjay Gupta warehouse. Files ordered from India. Semiconductors half broken.
Luke, what did you think of the Warlords when you were playing against? What did you think?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. one of the reasons why I think Boone did so well is at the very beginning of the game, I said to Barone, I can't remember the exact phrasing, but basically I said the likelihood that Boone is high is pretty good, so maybe we should target him. And it ended up not being a good idea.
Well, and Dench, was he high?
I don't know, actually.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be like.
What did you think of the team, though, Luke? Like, in the general, I'll tell you what I thought you were guys, too.
I mean, like, all things, like, despite you throwing on Joey a bunch, when Caleb wasn't throwing on Joey, he only threw, like, one or two, maybe three bad passes, and all three of those ended up as inks anyway, so it was, that kind of sucks. But I thought he did fine. Our run D was pretty bad, but it's something we've been working on. But I mean, Caleb wasn't really running too much, was he?
It was mainly me.
Yeah. So, defensively, you guys look good. Other than a couple bad passes, Caleb looked pretty good under center.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll go with that.
Can I ask who your full player is?
And who's the other team? Harmony.
Yeah.
I think you guys are in a good spot to, at the very least.
I think a wild card.
The third or the fourth seed.
Yeah, I agree.
Dench, can I ask you who the fourth player on your team is?
It was Boone on defense. Oh, I mean,
right, Boone. Okay.
We played A-Rog too, and then Caleb came in for Boone on a.
And who's your fifth in the roster?
It was me, Caleb, A-Rog, Cookie, and Boone.
Cookie, did Cookie play?
Dude, Cookie was good, man.
Yeah, Cookie did play.
Okay, I see.
I forgot about Cookie.
Okay, so
Cookie's good at run D.
It sounds like Cookie's actually getting involved in RFL this season.
Cookie's trying. We have a good team, honestly.
I got bullied into paying his membership.
Oh, that's that off topic, which we have honestly this episode we have more to talk off topic, like off games.
I felt bad about it.
Don't worry, we'll get into that. Don't worry. Right. I want to get the games out of the way first. So, all right, moving on to the last and fourth game that was played, which is the Crandor Cyclones versus let me get it right. Harmony Brewers. Now,
hysterical.
Yes, this is a complete absolute of you don't understand. Like, this is like monkeys against human beings, right? From my understanding.
Okay, hold on a second.
I mean, like,
good analogy.
I'm surprised. Okay, here's one inside information from A-Rog. Apparently, when Paco was asked during the game if the team call was AIDS, Paco's response was, and I quote, "It's actually surprisingly silent, but I wish I had AIDS."
Okay.
And it sounds like the team call. It sounds like the team call was like okay, but the team just was not performing well. And Detro, like obviously Detro is the best player in the team, right? And he was a quarterback, and he's not like. How did he? I mean, you guys tell me. I wasn't at the game. Was he able to pull his team together at all? Was there any sign of promise?
I wasn't impressed by anyone on Crandor. I really good at all. I thought he looked washed up. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but everything he was doing, it wasn't that he was doing anything different. It just was none of it was working. His runs weren't particularly good. They really couldn't. They had a lot of trouble in the red zone. I think they got turned once or twice in the red zone. Yeah, I mean, on defense, I just wasn't impressed at all with anything that I saw from them.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was, so I thought they would play better, like, coming off, like, Chavre returning, like, yeah, let's win this game. Like, you would think Chav would, like, want to win this game and everything, to prove everybody wrong. But, I mean, at the beginning, they were doing okay. But, from, like, two drives in, everything just fell apart.
Yeah,
I think Tilt was feeling really good. So once Tilt's on his game, it's pretty much over from there.
When Tilt's on point,
Dark didn't have any pressure on him because the defending was terrible by them. Their offense was mediocre at best. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know.
His passing was arguably worse too, because I just like when you're in that mid zone and everybody's running those like kind of slants, it's really easy to just like get in front of them and get the tackle. And Tilt had quite a few of those. Not to say he had a bad game at all. Like he played phenomenally otherwise, but he had a lot of tackles that were just like the receivers running slants straight into him.
We also have message from Detro. We also have message from Detro on Discord that he says that he will not be leaving the team. Crandor for life.
Okay,
that's good.
I respect
That's
that.
I respect that too. I hope that they keep playing.
Yeah.
Tiger, can I also ask like the role of Sirs on your team so far this season, as a manager or coach?
He's the hype man, bro.
Is he a hype man?
He's hype man.
Well, how well has
played-
he been managing the team?
Pretty good. I mean, we have basically experienced players that know what they like to play. So Ser's kind of as a facilitator. Like he'll take himself out of the game when he really needs to. And like the last game when Zombie came in and played, Ser's kind of just let us do our thing. He knows what it takes to win. So he's a good team player.
Mm-hmm. But you also do have to remember again, last season when he owned the team, he did go 2-0, and there was a lot of hype behind this team, if you remember, and things just went to shit.
Yeah, but that was after some like controversy, and a lot of things changed on that team. I don't think there's going to be a lot of static change on this team. I think Theo's going to be quarterback, unless he has a bad game. Then Tilt can fill in.
Then Tilt can fill in. That's a great dynamic of your team, which I'm gonna say is like because that trade you made, like when Tilt decided to hold out and then join your team. Like if Dark ever gets into like a sticky position, either on like if your team gets in a sticky position on defense or Dark gets in a sticky position on offense, Till is there to cover for it, which is fucking huge.
For sure, yeah.
Which is something Varg doesn't have, because like if one of our players, like any key player, like Sean for example, gets in a sticky position, we don't have someone who can do that.
It's always nice to have a nice backup on your team, even if they're not.
But it's not a backup;
great,
it's like a super backup, It's
I know this. It's a nice thing
like
to
a super
have,
sub,
but
yeah.
it's always nice to have a backup on your team, regardless. Like on Fort K, at least they have Dench backing up Caleb if Caleb gets into trouble.
QB Dench next week, by the way. Throwing that out there.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking. Finally, I'm waiting for this fucking moment since last season.
Do we play next week?
No, we play the fucking Crandor again.
That's gonna be.
That's a stat. Okay, never mind. That's a stat pad.
This is why I'm playing QB.
Yeah, I just realized why.
I've cut Caleb into.
I was like, fuck yeah. Who's he gonna face? Charters? Or is it Burn? Or is it fucking Dark? Oh, never mind. It's the fucking
Chab.
Cyclone is I imagine like you playing QB against them is like the cutscene from Dragon Slayer 1. You finally build the Lumbridge ship to like sail near Crandor, and before it gets to the shore, the fucking Elvar the dragon, which is dense, it just like burns the whole fucking boat of the fucking ocean, the bottom of the
I
sea.
haven't played QB in a long time. Like
That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's exactly.
I have not played QB in a long time, so we'll see. I'm not gonna make any promises yet.
All right.
Your team just has to play mistake free, and you'll win.
Yeah, exactly. We have Boone, so we're gonna win.
Boone needs to show up sober. And not get pulled over. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, okay. Now, so Tiger, what are some of the games that are coming up then? One game is definitely as Varrock Rams against Kebab Greens this Sunday. Now, this is a team, my team against CJ's team.
Be a good game.
Yeah, it looks like
a
a pretty good
division
matchup,
opponents. Division opponents.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the Burn versus Sharnos dynamic of this. Since they kind of know each other so well, and
it'd be cool to see,
especially at the quarterback position. Sharnos is a good defender, so we'll see how Burn can play it out.
Well, what I like to see is, last season it was Burn and Sharnos QBing for that team, but then Sharnos became the main QB. But now they're gonna go head on against each other as like the quarterbacks of two teams with some pretty good defenders. Like you had Dart Leo and Varrock Rams at CGH on. These teams look pretty evenly matched with good quarterbacks. I
don't know really much to say about that, but like the role players, the Varrock Rams. Sorry, it's okay. The Varrock Rams role players have to step up this game, I think. The wide receiver, the offense has to step up. Defense was good. Your guys' defense is
it's
like
the
really
offense,
great
the wide receiver plays, which were not on point.
Right, and I get it. Like a lot of you guys, you and Giggs were rusty. You haven't played in a while, and Giggs only played a limited time last season. So, and you have that new rookie. So, I think as the season progresses and you play
that's one thing I want to mention as well. Now that Olaf apparently has called off his work every time for every single game of the season, And Olaf is actually kind of like he's showing a lot of potential in offense last season.
Yeah,
Like, he could be the
just-
guy.
you know,
He could be
it's-
our guy.
It's funny because I completely forget Olaf's on the team. Like, I just don't think he's on the team. I just never see him around anymore. So yeah, he's definitely the best.
What do you mean, Tiger?
I mean, it's just what it is, bro.
From
RFL, man.
Please stop. Please stop that.
Okay, my bad.
That
I was
wasn't
doing my
bad.
impression of him.
That was a good impression.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah,
Those are
why are you guys
pretty
hating?
entertaining.
All right, continue, Tiger.
Pretty spot on.
Yeah, he's definitely the best wide receiver on your team, I think.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I think once Olaf joins the attack on Varrock, it's gonna look pretty. Well, we'll see how if the Varrock offense can develop basically. Because like last season, why Sharns was also able to thrive so much was because Burninator was a great wide receiver as well. Because Burninator was like a very good offensive player, and he was able to complement Sharns. But now that there isn't particularly any strong offensive players, maybe Olaf can develop into that player Sharns needs, the wide receiver he needs. I guess in the Kebab Green side, Burn is definitely gonna, like, from my point of view, right? Burn is definitely gonna see this game as like, oh, I'm going up against Chuck and Sharnus, the two players I played with the most in my career, right? And he's gonna be thinking, oh, they might be doing this, they might be doing that. Like how has he been looking at this game so far, CGH?
Like what do you mean? Like how Burns like?
Well, has he
Looked
prepared
into
at
this
all for this game?
I mean, not really. We've been like talking about like when the
Yeah,
game's gonna
talking
be,
about
like
it.
maybe thoughts about practicing before the game. But no, I mean, no, that's pretty much been it. I'm sure like we're gonna like practice before the game, which might be rescheduled tomorrow instead of Sunday, by the way.
Oh, really? What time?
Yeah. I don't know, like, if he mentioned it to you guys, but, like, he wants to do it tomorrow because Sunday is going to be Father's Day, I believe.
Wait, hold
So,
on. Is he gonna be a dad?
Oh, I don't know. Like, he might be
Yeah,
hanging
the
out
dad.
with his...
Well, I mean,
is
like, if we are doing it tomorrow, do it
I
early as
don't know.
possible. Do it early, like, really early.
No, that's or,
I
yeah,
reckon
he brought up, like, 3:30, 4, something like
Oh,
that.
perfect. Okay, I'm down with that. Well, I'll talk to
I'm
Charles
riffing
about
this
it.
shit.
All right. Anyway, next, what is the next game up? Tiger Ride 6904.
we'll be going into next week's games. The first game of next week is the Berthrobetics against the Rams.
No. There is still one game in first week that's still yet to be played. That's the Port Cazard against.
Oh, we're
Brewers.
talking about the rescheduled game.
Yeah,
It's getting
that's still
rescheduled.
week
We don't
one.
know yet. We're trying.
Mm.
Okay. What can I say about this game?
No competition. I don't think it'll be a fun game to watch.
No, I don't think it'll be.
I
fun.
think it
It'll
will be a
some
fun
good
game. It'll be a good Shav A-Raj dynamic.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be a
was
fun
gonna
game to
say,
watch.
like,
That's going to
okay,
be the main headline.
here. There are two types of RFL viewers. One is people who enjoy how beautiful the game is, how beautiful passes are thrown, how tactics, strategy, and just like how elegant the RFL game is. And then there's the second one who just love to see people fucking clash into each other all the fucking time. Joe Ferguson taking the shit on the field, Chavray throwing confetti on the field, Chavray and A-Rod fighting each other, throwing fucking left hook, right hook everywhere. That is the kind of viewer I am. So if you are one of those viewers, this is probably the game of the season for you right there. This is the game of the season for you.
Yeah, they play each other twice, so. But it's always the first game that's well, I don't know, honestly. Like this doesn't have a lot of build. It might have a lot of build up. I don't know. It just depends on what it is.
There won't be any build up, but there will be build up 10 minutes before the match when A-Rock and Shav are in the same field. there will be 10 minutes of really intense build up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think this is. Sorry, go ahead.
I am looking forward to it. Kevin is attending this game, by the way, which will be
Who's Kevin?
fucking Asbandeli.
Wait, is she really?
Wait,
Yes.
what? No, you're. Why is she called Kevin?
Why is
Come
she
on,
even
sorry.
attending this game?
Well,
Oh my
we thought
God,
we
is she
might
having
fuck
a
with
gender
Shab a little
replacement
bit.
thing?
No,
Us.
Oh God.
she's just
Oh,
coming in
God.
to watch.
Oh no.
Oh God, not
Wait,
another
is this
fucking ham
a
moon.
meme or is this actually for real?
No, this is happening. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, I think I know. Alright. But one thing for sure is that when Chavray and A-Raj, when Chavray and A-Raj is in that field, okay, this is definitely like the highest contender for the Chavray rope dropping incident happening again, part 2, for sure.
Yeah, we shall.
There's. I was kind of disappointed. Did anyone drop any rope tops during the first Crown game?
Bloof.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. We had the Bloof rope drop. That was
we must start a fucking movement, like a movement in this game where we just all drop rope tops from by the sidelines. in solidarity with Chavray's stance against rope tops.
Yeah,
rope party
last
smiling.
game also, Chavray traded me a Zimrock rope so he can repay me back. So take that as it is.
Or we could draw coin stacks on the floor to show how much money you lost from the stake.
Or you know that
one
ring?
GP.
Wait, isn't there that ring with the coin on it? Just
Yeah,
drop
ring.
it in the middle of the field.
A ring of coins, I have that.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy shit. Okay.
It's a good ring.
All right,
Good
some
thing.
off-topic discussion, and I've had enough talking about the games. Now I want to talk about. Apparently, there's been talks of a new award that might be out into the season. It's a few talks. It's a new one called the Cock of the Season Award, and because this is a discussion spurred by 2 members of the RFL, which was Luke and Sir Semperfi. Now, the 2 things that happened recently is that, well, Chavray has slowly started to be integrated back in the RFL community, and Sirs, who is known to be abused by... What the fuck? Someone said the N-word in my chat. Man, kick this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
next
Kick this
steps.
motherfucker.
What's
Everybody-
happening?
No racism in
Everybody-
this RFL stream, Nick.
What happened?
Do you know that guy, Chuck?
I don't know this guy. No, I don't know this guy. No.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. Now, as I was saying...
He said yo, and
The
then
Cock of the
racial
Season
slur.
Award, guys, RFL.
Come on, bro.
None of that. Come on, bro. All right. So, Cock of the Season Award. Apparently, Luke so far in the running because A-Rock basically bullied him into buying membership for his own teammate and then making him apologize for paying. I mean, if that isn't cuckold.
Never, not what happened.
I mean,
Fake
from
news.
what I like. Okay, but the
No,
se-
it was. I
I'll let
paid
you.
membership
I'll let you
for
explain in a
Luke
second.
my own
Natty,
I'll let you
you're such
explain.
a cock.
But the second contender for the award is Sir Semperfi, who, after years of getting mentally abused by Chavray, and now, after apologizing to Chavray, because Chavray lashed out at him a few months ago, and they stopped being friends, now that he's Sir's apologized to him for some reason, and they became quote-unquote friends, just for Chavray a few days ago to lash out and say, I never value your friendship out of nowhere, and basically disrespect him again. Another good contender for the Cock of the Season award. Go ahead, Luke. Explain what happened with your cuckoldry.
This award is still pending.
Well,
Keep that in mind.
go on,
It's
Luke.
still pending.
I don't know what it is you want me to say.
I mean, you
Luke.
were gonna say more about, give us more
Can I
insight on
Can I
your.
ask a question? Are we just gonna skip over the fact that there's another week of RFL coming up? Or are we just gonna pretend that there's no?
We talked
we're
about
done?
what
We didn't talk about the upcoming week at all. But all right.
Don't worry about it, baby. When the games get played, we'll talk about them, right? But
Okay.
until then, this is Gaz signing off because this Nutritia Fortisip is. I had to go to the bathroom. Okay, so any last words, guys? Quick, please make it quick.
Yeah, I told you not to chug that stuff, dude.
Okay.
That's disgusting. Don't ever sponsor this
Luke.
again on your stream.
Luke,
Wait, it's a podcast.
I gotta go really
Boss
bad.
tonight, scrim tonight, all that stuff.
Wait, hold on. How much prize pool do we have so far?
It's not looking good. It's not.
10
looking
Why
mil?
don't we do like a 10%, 5% like trip to like the thing, you know? Okay,
Dude,
fuck it.
you
We'll talk about it.
have to
CJ,
Young Ron
CJ, I
Rivera.
gotta go. CJ, what do you last words?
You're welcome for donating 10 mil to the prize pool. Only,
Oh,
only
Oh,
cash.
Oh, thank you,
is
CJ.
so far. Yep, you're welcome, guys.
And also Fortisip, they've donated 2 mil to the prize pool. Dench, any last words?
They're gonna ice the cooker.
I gotta go now. See you guys. Hey, thank you for watching the show.
I'm gonna
Blue.
say the